I'm extremely glad to see you and to hear you. And of course, congratulations with the upcoming release of the Conquerors album. The album is a blast. I really, really enjoyed it. And
Thank you.
my first question is, as far as I understood, unlike the previous album, this album is somewhat a concept album because it's based on historical events and personalities. And the obvious question is, how did you come up with such idea?
It sort of fell into place because we had a couple of tracks that were sort of historically themed, and then when we started like working on the lyrics and rewriting it, we sort of angled it towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And we think it's nice because I really liked on the first New Horizon album. I liked the more epic stuff, and both me and Nils we like the epic Iron Maiden stuff. That's why we did the cover of Alexander the Great, and we just thought it was a nice sort of line to take. Like one song is about Julius Caesar, and it was also like different aspects to the word conquerors. Like it's not just military conquerors, but more like, well, you can conquer new frontiers like space and stuff like that. The atom bomb and different. But yeah, we just basically we were inspired by a bunch of different series and movies that we
Mm-hmm.
kind of connected, like that we liked. So you can kind of pinpoint which series it's about. Like if you take Daimyo, for example, we had that. I don't know what it's called in English, but Age of Samurai or something. It was on Netflix a couple of years back. It was like, oh, this is cool. So that's why we did that one. Obviously, like for Fallout War, we had Oppenheimer,
Mm-hmm.
and we really like Christopher Nolan stuff. So Shadow Warrior is about Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, loosely, stuff like that. But yeah, it just we vibed on that sort of theme, and we come. I don't think it's sort of a concept album, more like a theme album. You know what I mean? It's like a
Yes, yes. I mean, now for me, it's opening from the new perspective for sure, because while I was writing a review, I was re-listening songs for many times because for me it was like a riddle, like a
mm,
puzzle, because some songs came pretty obviously for me, like Apollo or Before the Dawn, for example, and some remained
mhm.
a complete mystery. Well, Alexander the Great, obviously, it was clear what
that,
the song
that one
is
was
about.
easy.
Yeah, but the rest remained a mystery. And now, I mean, Shadow Warrior is about Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Yeah, Dark Knight.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I
But it's called
wouldn't
Shadow
ever come up
Warrior.
with it.
Yeah. Would have been more obvious if it was called The Dark Knight,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
like those movies.
And are you planning to make some sort of a track by track explanation, or you really want the listeners to guess the meanings of the songs, just like I was trying to do?
I think it's a bit fun. I think though, when you know what it's about, I think the song comes alive a bit more. So maybe we will do some sort of track by track. Like for example, for me, with Before the Dawn, it's about Exodus. Utvandrarna is a Swedish book about the Swedish settlers in America. They went from, they were really poor conditions in Sweden, late 1800s, and they took the ships, the sailing boats, not knowing if they would survive, and they went over to America to build a new life. And I mean, when you have that story, and it's a great movie, Swedish movie from like back in the day, and when you have that sort of picture in your head, it kind of grows the song for me at least. And I think, but also it's nice that the listener can, get their own interpretation, and because a song like Before the Dawn could be like just hopeful track for whatever reason you have, right? The apple trees of Eden. Yeah, in the movie, in the book, there's a astrakhan apple that
Mm-hmm.
they eat, which is very specific that's why I had the apple trees, and the apple trees of Eden is gone because the flowers and everything. Yeah, like the soil was hard. Actually, they couldn't grow the crops, right? So they
Uh-huh.
had to move to, and they heard the rumors of this great land in the west where the soil was really fertile and you can grow, you know, crops and have a great life. And that's what they dreamt about, not the rocks. Like he was called the king of rocks, that the
Mhm.
guy, I mean, because he had in the book, it was just, you know, fields and meadows filled with rocks. He couldn't really grow crops. So if you know the story about the trucks, they sort of come alive a bit more. But it's nice that you can read in your own story to it as well. Maybe there's some sort of angle in it because they are really like Christian in the book as well. So maybe there's some like parallel idea from the author. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it can be a little soon to ask, but did you really like to play with this different history / pop culture topics, and are you going to continue it further in the
Yeah, I
future?
mean, yeah, we already talked about some topics for like more songs and already started like you know, filling it out and see what's what. So we have another sort of concept growing in the back of our heads. I'm not going to say anything yet, but
Of course.
it would be a cool theme for next album, like following up on Conquerors, maybe, you know, something else. But absolutely, I mean, we love that sort of historic, epic kind of tracks, and those were the songs that I really liked the best from the first album. Like Gate of the Gods on the first one was about the fall of Babylon. Like I really like that, and I like, as I said, like that when Iron Maiden did those epic tracks, and even Kansas, they had a song about the Aviator, which we also have. The Edge of Insanity is about Howard Hughes, the Aviator,
Mhm.
also from a movie, Scorsese movie, and how he like mastered the air and conquered the skies, you know.
Mhm.
And but he was kind of crazy. Like, have you seen The Aviator with DiCaprio?
Yeah, of
The
course.
movie, yeah. So it's about him, like when he gets a bit. It's a thin line between genius and insane. You know, that's the
Mhm.
edge of insanity. Mhm.
Yeah. Actually, I'm just now trying to apply what you were saying to what I was listening. And as you said, now after you have said this,
Mhm.
all about the songs, a lot of them will be opened to me from different angle. And
Mhm.
I'm very much looking forward to listen to the
Yeah.
again as
I
long as I can. Let's go further and let's go
sure.
back to Before the Dawn. There is a
Mhm.
beautiful featuring artist on this song, which is Elise from
Yes.
Brand, of course. I
Mhm.
recognized
Mhm.
her. And so, how did you come up with collaborating with her?
I just really wanted to do that song as a duet. So I was thinking of like I wanted some like really smooth female vocals. I was thinking about, and then I never thought like that Elise would do it. I didn't really think about it. But then Nils was like, "Yeah, I can ask her if she wants to do it." And then she said she listened to the song with my lousy, shitty vocals. She liked it, and then she came in here and did. I actually helped her track some Dragon Force stuff, and then she did the vocals. It was so good. It was crazy. Like in the studio, I was like, ah. She did like even better than I could like imagine. You know, it was like, oh, this is perfect. Like she knew exactly what to do. It was really cool, and it turned out great. I think. Like they've done duets before, but
Mm-hmm.
I really like the vibe of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the chemistry on this song is incredible, and it's pretty obvious. Yeah, they've practiced it for years.
exactly.
Coming back to the vocal stuff in general, you have worked with, in my opinion, probably one of the most distinguished vocalists of our generation, which is Erik Grönwall and Nils Molin. And of
Mm.
course, they are both incredible singers. But how would you determine the difference in working with them? Was there any difference even?
Uh, yes, I think Erik likes to be more coached. I mean, he never like grew up listening to this kind of metal. You know, he was into more thrash stuff and you know, different branch. Whereas Nils and we come from the same like musical background. We were like the same bands. You know, we can instantly vibe. So with Erik, it was more I had, you know, showed him more can you do it like this? Can you do it? And he did it really good. Like he's not your everyday power metal singer. He's a great like when he was in Heat, he was more like a melodic rock singer. He's a great pop singer. He's very versatile. The Nils is like I didn't have to like say anything. We did the first track we did was Daimyo, and he just sang it perfectly. It's like, okay, no, that's good. That's what you're supposed to do. And he has that nice like Do vibe, that I love. And I mean, Nils was also more like he got more involved with the lyrics, whereas Erik is more like, yeah, you do all that. I come in and sing. Like he thinks I'm better at that. But Nils and I had a great like creative sphere where we kind of vibe with the lyrics and came up with some melodies and stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and this album, I mean, Conquerors, in the end, how I felt, appeared to be more power metal, because previously it was more like heavy. I mean, the first album, and this is
Sure.
more into power metal.
A bit more epic, some symphonic elements as well. Like try to keep it fun, but like not like too much. I try to keep it sort of in the middle of the road, like where I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned performing live. So are there any concerts planned with the Conquerors?
No, unfortunately not. We haven't. I mean, this has never been the idea. Has never been to bring it on the road, but like I would love to. But we're not gonna chase it. I think like we don't have an agent. So we'll see. Like if opportunity comes up, we will like if some festival or whatever wants to have us, we will definitely look into if it's doable or not. But as I know, stuff don't really come easy or for free in the music business. So if you don't chase it, it might not even happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, eventually you never know what happens. But like Nils has two other bands that are touring a lot. I tour with Heat. We will probably hard to have time. But I'm not saying no, but there's nothing planned, basically.
Yes, and I was thinking actually, as long as Erik now seems to be free, he's not a part of Skid Row anymore. So have you thought about bringing him back as a guest vocalist, maybe, or maybe having two of them in this project? I mean, imagine two, as I said, most powerful vocalists.
It would be cool. I mean, maybe. I mean, they would complement each other. Erik is more bright, whereas Nils has more grit. So it would be cool. I haven't thought about it. I mean, me and Erik, we do so much thing. I mean, we're running his YouTube channel and we're writing music and stuff like that. So we're already doing stuff together. I mean, maybe New Horizon for us too is like a chapter that we closed and we move on to other stuff. But you never know. Maybe like a duet between them could be cool as well. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, because as a listener, when I had this thought in my mind, I mean, I thought that this album was more of a history-based sort of album, and when this idea popped into my head, like having two of them in New Horizon, I immediately started thinking about also a duo situation, like, I don't know, Caesar and Brutus, for example, or I don't know, Charles the 12th and Peter the Great. I mean, some
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
all right, yeah.
historical.
Oh yeah,
That would be wow.
yeah, that's a great idea actually. To have them do like different roles
Yeah.
opposing. Yeah, you get two sides of the coin as well. Good
Yes.
idea.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just a
It's a good idea.
massive history nerd, actually. So that's why probably I saw it from this perspective, and it's cool when these topics are brought up, even interlaced with pop culture. It's incredible when these topics are brought up through the album, because, in my opinion, that is how the album gets more understandable. Because these movies, again, and stories are incredible, and a lot of people watch them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love to listen to that kind of. I used to listen to it more back in the day, but like I love those tracks, those epic when you kind of get that history lesson, like Alexander the Great. It's one of my favorite Maiden songs from my favorite Maiden album. So it's I love those, that kind of, also like Sabaton and stuff they've done. I can think like when I listened to them like 15 years ago, I was like, oh, this is nice. It's like they're doing the Maiden thing, like with it's really cool.
The more epic, the better. Yes, that's the slogan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're coming to the conclusion of our wonderful discussion. And what would be your message for the fans who would listen to the album and surely will watch this video? I mean, this interview.
I hope people will enjoy listening to the album. And like I would prefer that people, like, if they had a time, they dig deep and they find out what it's about. And as I said, you can blow some more life into the songs and it can grow for you. And I hope people can have fun with this album for a like extended period of time, you know, so it can be like a staple. I hope so. I think it's really good. I've listened to it too much already. I actually enjoyed the album myself. Like, oh, this is nice. Good. I guess that's a good review for yourself. I don't want to like, be too much like that, but yeah, it's fun. I hope people will enjoy it.
Thank you so much for the chat. And again, thanks for the great music. I personally really enjoyed it and I really want to wish you
Thank you.
Good luck in whatever you are up to and looking forward to more good music further.
All righty. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for the chat. Bye.